I want to take Crossville to places it's never been in a tourism capacity. Crossville in Cumberland County has never had a DMO. We've never promoted to people necessarily, outside of just little, this and that, word of mouth stuff. Whenever we do start promoting that, of course, we're going to see people come in, but I think we're going to see businesses come in. Mm-hmm. Now, I think that's going to be the biggest thing.
What have you learned working with the state?
I've learned that there are a lot of resources out there that a lot of people are not taking advantage of. There are resources out there for even like local businesses, across the state. In Upper Cumberland, we have the SPDC, which has an intern team that works with small businesses that I was on for 2.5 years. Like I cannot thank the state enough for, the ARPA money and putting that into tourism, because I would not be in this position if that wasn't the case. Mm-hmm. My metrics of success are way different than anybody else in tourism. It's how much can I positively and how much can tourism positively affect Cumberland County and Crossville, whether that's the business owner, whether that's bringing a business in for quality of life purposes for the community. Like, how much can we affect the community in a positive way?
Welcome to the Explore NASH podcast. We are so glad that you're taking the time to listen to today's episode. Today, we are talking about Cumberland County. And if you didn't know, Cumberland County is basically the dividing county from East Tennessee to Middle Tennessee. It's part of the Cumberland Plateau. So we're going to be talking about mountains. We're going to be talking about water features. We're going to be talking about golf. We're going to be talking about the local food scene. We're talking about one of the best theaters in the country. And joining me today is the Director of Tourism for Cumberland County, PJ Barnes. Thank you so much for driving in from Crossville today. Yeah. He said it was about an hour and 40-minute drive. How was your drive in from Crossville this morning?
It was wonderful. I'm used to Crossville, so not as much traffic, but I lived in Nashville for 6 months, so it's nothing out of the ordinary to run into a little bit of congestion, but it was smooth. I left, at the perfect time to where I wasn't getting here whenever everybody else was, but, it was good.
So you're relatively new in your role as Director of Tourism for Cumberland County. What does that entail on a day-to-day basis?
Oh, man.
You're trying to figure it out.
That changes. It changes. It really does change day to day. As the Director of Tourism in Crossville, Cumberland County, so we're the 15th largest county in tourism revenue year. It's $210 million.
So what does that mean?
So it's direct spending in Cumberland County on tourism, and it's specifically people 50 miles and out. However, sometimes the numbers get a little congested, but all the counties have the same tracking system. So, that is money spent on food, money spent on golf, even cars bought, I think, is thrown into that in direct expenditure, which has always been a little interesting to me. But so basically, how
does that work? I'm just thinking of logistics, because if I go to another county, so that purchase of a car, of a $37,000 car, counts towards that number?
I don't know,
or is
if it's sales of that money. I'm still trying to get clarification on that, but supposedly that's the way that our mayor views it, and that's what he told me. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but okay. I know that the stuff that we can actually control, with people coming in, lodging's a big one for us, right? Golf's another big one. People coming in for the Playhouse. Yep. We have, a pretty good local food scene. So people coming in for that, I would say, is, really what we're trying to affect. Mm-hmm. There's part of that $210 million that, as a DMO in tourism, you can't directly affect.
If you guys don't know what a DMO is, it's a destination marketing organization. Yes. And so the way that it's structured with PJ is he is a part of the Chamber of Commerce, correct? Yes. And then they have started a division of tourism, which is you're the first one in this role for Cumberland County. But what's interesting about Cumberland County is it's considered the golf capital of the state of Tennessee. We'll get into that here in a second, but what does your day-to-day look like?
Yeah, so we've never had anybody in this position before. So the first, I've been here almost half a year, so almost 6 months. The first 6 months have really just been setting a foundation for tourism. So it's been a lot of going to Franklin, going to Knoxville, going to these different places, meeting with people, making those connections with people that have either made those mistakes or know what to do right. STS Marketing College is another, great example. But my day to day is, I'm out talking to business owners because community involvement's huge. I am going to all the after hours, board meetings that we have in the community. I'm going to film social media content. I'm writing grants. I'm working on our website. It is anything and everything you can think of and more. Because additionally with being the director of tourism, I'm also the executive director of our soon-to-be Main Street program. So that's a whole nother hat I have to wear. There's a lot of different hats in tourism, and the thing that, is really a priority for me over the next 3 or 4 years is splitting that up and delegating that out. So if you look at from, counties 11 to 25 in tourism revenue a year, they all have at least 3 or 4 staff members. That's like a bare minimum. We have 1. And I'm doing, a lot to try to get tourism, built up and try to get the foundations laid. And fortunately, I have a lot of great people, to help, but I'm the only staff member, right? So I have to assume kind of all those responsibilities and all those roles. And
what did you learn about time management with all of this?
Oh man, time management's a great one. So kind of going back a little bit to my background, time management, whenever I walked into college, was probably my worst skill in the world. Truthfully, I was not good at time management. I could never get a timing down. I would always procrastinate. I was a turn it in at 11:59 kind of guy, or turn it in at 12:05 and email my professor, hey, my computer shut down. Sorry. Really over the last year, so I worked in the golf industry at the Tennessee Golf Association. I was an ops intern for 6 months there, and I was working anywhere from 50 to 65 hours a week, give or take, depending on the week and, how many tournaments we had to run and that kind of stuff. And along with that, I also had MBA classes to take, and I had another internship that I was working, anywhere from 10 to 15 hours a week. It's I really outside of sleeping and eating, I didn't get a lot of rest. That was really whenever I figured out I have a lot more capabilities and capacity as far as time management goes. As long as I'm wise about it and I utilize my time right. Well, now it feels I have a lot going on, but I have the time to go home and rest. And I have the time to really the biggest piece of advice I give anybody on time management is you have to find your rest. So I can turn my brain off whenever I'm out of work. I can go golf and not have to worry about anything, or I can go watch a movie with my wife and not have to worry about anything. Well, it's really just, you can handle a lot more than you think. You just have to prioritize it. You have to have your certain system of, this is how I'm going to do it. So every day whenever I get there and every day whenever I leave, I have a notepad that has everything I need to get done, whether that's get done immediately or get done 2 weeks from now. And I pretty much use that as my Bible, my work Bible, as far as let's get all this stuff done. And I know that from 8 to 4, I'm going to be dedicated working on stuff at my job, trying to get all this stuff done. Because I know whenever I get it done, it's going to be less on my plate. It's going to be less stressful. So the faster you get it done, the better.
Sounds like my college experience. I graduated college in basically 2.5, 3-ish years.
Yep.
But full-time student, I basically worked full-time in the kitchen, and I had a part-time job. And so my hours every day were from 6 a.m. to midnight, and I'll get 6 hours of sleep 5 days a week.
Yep.
Yeah. And, because my first class started at 6:15 in the morning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that reminds me of that time. But then I feel even now, if I didn't have, my son and if I didn't have my sons, because by the time this podcast episode comes out, I'll have 2 babies.
Yeah.
If I didn't have them, I think I would end up working from 5 a.m. to 1 a.m. still every single day. So the rest is so important. Okay. So your day to day is all of those things. What is your favorite aspect of being a tourism director of the county?
Truthfully.
Also, let's before that, you grew up in Cumberland County. Mm-hmm. Your family has a legacy in the county. So let's talk about that, and then your favorite part of being a tourism director.
Absolutely. So I was born and raised in kind of Crossville's little brother is the best way that I can put it. So we have 3 cities in Cumberland County. It's Crossville, Pleasant Hill, and Crab Orchard. I grew up in Crab Orchard. I went to school in Crab Orchard. I always took passion in that. We have my family, we were in the rock business. Crab Orchard Stone is it?
Yeah, and if people have no idea, Cumberland County is famous for. Go ahead and describe it.
Yeah, so Crab Orchard Stone is a type of sandstone that you can only find 2 places in the world. It's Cumberland County and China, are the 2 places that you can find it. And it's super sought after. People from all over the United States, even out of state, come to Crab Orchard to get this Crab Orchard Stone. It is very, very unique in coloring and durability, and that's how my family, grew up. So I have one grandparent that didn't even finish high school, so I'm a first generation college student. But one thing that my family's always been known for is doing the right by people and, doing the right thing. And that's kind of where we've built up, just being involved in stuff and being good people. And I'm very, very blessed to have, a wonderful family that has always cared about that and, kind of ingrained that from me from a young age. And I loved Crossville. I loved Crab Orchard. I was always a very, very passionate person, about, our community. And we were always very involved in anything and everything that was going on in our, city, as well as Crossville and, our county. So, I was born and raised there. I moved to Cookeville, to go to school for 2 years because I graduated college at 20. And then I moved to Nashville. And I always just had this longing for home and for, the people of Cumberland County and kind of that atmosphere and being close to family, because that's something that I've always prioritized. And, fortunately I got this position and, got the opportunity to move back. And I love it there. It's, it really does feel like home. Like that's where I want to be, for the rest of my life. And I feel pretty confident in saying that. I would say honestly, my favorite thing about being the director of tourism in Cumberland County is getting to give back to the community. So the community that's given me so much that, I'm so passionate about is getting to hear that business owner say, we've had 20 more people that have mentioned, even something like that. Or we had, 2 families come in to have dinner after you posted that. It's stuff like that is very meaningful to me. And technically, director of tourism, you're supposed to focus on 50 miles an hour. That's your metric for success. My metrics of success are way different than anybody else in tourism. It's how much can I positively and how much can tourism positively affect Cumberland County and Crossville, whether that's the business owner, whether that's bringing a business in for quality of life purposes for the community. How much can we affect the community in a positive way? And that's by far the most fulfilling part of my job, is getting to hear those business owners say, man, thank you so much for posting this video. It'll get 250 likes, but even if that leads to 10 people coming,
that's a huge conversion rate, man.
It's it's
even
great.
For that small of a video, that's a huge conversion rate. Yeah.
And it's just the advocacy of those businesses is something that we have. Crossville and Cumberland County has never really advertised or promoted anything within their community because we're 35% retirees, not necessarily your social media gurus, to say the least. So it's having a platform to share those awesome stories and to share those awesome businesses that we have that not a lot of people know about is super important. And we're seeing, fruit from that already.
So let's take it this way. I want to get into the retirement community, but that's going to fit into more of the golf questions I have later on. Buc-ee's opened in Crossville.
Yeah.
And it was the first Buc-ee's in the state of Tennessee. Dramatically changed your cash flow as a destination. I know that's not going into the tourism department, it's going into the general fund of the city, and there's all that diluted stuff of where does the money go and how is the sales tax applied and all of these things. But let's talk about Buc-ee's, and it's this center point between Nashville and Knoxville. And when I'm doing that drive, I stop at Buc-ee's.
Yep.
And I think everyone and their mother does too. So just talk about how Buc-ee's impacted Crossville.
Well, I'm going to tell you from a local perspective first, and then I'll tell you from an overall city county tax standpoint. So whenever Buc-ee's opened up, I worked at a church that was directly next to where Buc-ee's was. And we were a relatively large church at the time. And it was either people loved it or hated it. Because some people loved Buc-ee's, but it's a lot different whenever you are on a road trip and you're stopping at a Buc-ee's versus the traffic that Buc-ee's causes for your people, which I will say, our city and county, one thing that I will absolutely never be able to repay them for is making the investment in Buc-ee's and its roads.
It was very brilliant, and Clarksville, Tennessee and the state are missing out on that cash flow, and now it's going to Kentucky. Yeah.
And the awesome thing about Buc-ee's for us specifically is it's even if we don't have those people necessarily come to Crossville, that's paying for a YMCA. or, the most of the YMCA that we're getting in our downtown footprint for.
Which is going to be a huge space, because when we were there with you, you showed us where the YMCA is going, and we're like, wow, that's a massive space.
We've never had anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, we've never had anything of that magnitude and something that new and nice in the community, at least since I've been alive. And having that is going to be incredible for our community. Like, a lot of that is, Buc-ee's to think, but really I think what Buc-ee's has kind of signaled is Crossville is growing, right? Buc-ee's has kind of been like a catalyst for businesses coming here. Like, even right across from Buc-ee's, we're getting a Whataburger.
I just, right before this episode, I was at a Whataburger meeting with them,
Right behind that, more than likely, there's going to be a shopping center open up, which is something that people in Crossville have been asking for like 15 years.
You guys don't have a Walmart, right?
We do have a Walmart.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah. All around that main street. Yeah.
It's like 2 miles off from Buc-ee's.
Yep. But on the other side of Buc-ee's, there's that whole open lot that, like, and you said it's hundreds of acres that it's available.
Yeah. There's a lot of acreage. There's a lot of commercial acreage available in Cumberland County right now. And I will tell anybody this. In the next 10 years, Crossville will look drastically different, even if you're just driving down the road.
Yeah. Oh, hands down. Yeah.
It is about to start developing. It's about to become more of a destination for people to get off, more so than it already is with Buc-ee's. But it's like Buc-ee's has kind of just been the signal of, like, that's just a sign of what is to come.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
That's the first domino to fall with all these other things that are about to start, popping up, and we're about to start growing like crazy in the commercial and retail space.
Well, and the hat that you're wearing, you're about to start growing extremely big in the private luxury race car world. So you have an asset coming to your county called Flat Rock Motor Club, and go ahead and just tell the audience what this is. It's going to be massive.
Flat Rock's probably one of the most unique things that have happened to, I would say, the state of Tennessee in a pretty considerable amount of time. It's targeting a demographic that, especially outside of Nashville, is never really targeted. So this is like upper level, like million billionaires, right? So it's a private racing track. We actually got to go out and take a lap the other day, and I mean, it was incredible.
What were you in? Like, were you in a Porsche or?
Yeah, I believe Cayman, I believe is what it was. We had the option between a BMW M5 and a Cayman, so I went the Cayman. But I mean, incredible experience, right? Going 135, 140 miles an hour down one of the coolest tracks you're ever going to be on. And, we're just fortunate that Flat Rock picked Crossville, because that's another one of those, dominoes. That's a catalyst that's going to bring an incredible amount of people in. But it is this, imagine a golf country club, but with
race cars,
$500,000, $2, $3, $4 million cars racing around with different tracks. There's, their master plan is going to include a lot more than that. They're already well above pace on their membership numbers.
Wow.
They sold all of their first set of condos. It's 40, and they were like nice, expensive condos that are overlooking the track. It is going to be, whenever they start getting these forward-facing events and forward-facing attractions, which is supposed to happen by the end of next year, it is going to drastically change like the way the Upper Cumberland is viewed as far as like a tourism standpoint. And Tennessee's Upper Cumberland, and
what people maybe not know is Upper Cumberland is one of the poorest areas in the state of Tennessee. And so having an asset like Flat Rock at the start of the Upper Cumberland, like, is huge. It's going to be absolutely massive.
Yeah. And I think, kind of speaking to, the wealth, it's like, what if somebody loves that place so much that they decide to plant a business here? They decide to, provide some jobs or move, businesses down to Cumberland County, because that would be huge for us. Like, we're seeing an influx in businesses wanting to move here, with whether that's industrial development. We have Whisper Arrow, I know we kind of talked about that. It's like they're creating like the quietest engines in the world, right? It's like we're having more of those businesses come in. This is just going to help that. And like, we're going to get more forward-facing attractions. There's supposed to be, a museum. There's supposed to be a karting track. So like,
theme park in Cumberland County would be pretty nice.
It would be lovely. Yeah. I would love that, especially for, taxes and tourism revenue. I think that would be great. But, Flat Rock is awesome. They have a wonderful team over there, and any way, shape, or form we can promote them, we do it, because it's so unique. It's unlike any other place in the world, truthfully. Like, you can go to any like private motor club, and Flat Rock's going to be 2 times better. like from everybody that we've talked to. I mean, it really is incredible.
All right, so let's go throughout the county. So some of the things in the county that you guys have Black Mountain, you have Ozone Falls, you have the incredible golf scene, you have one of the best, like one of the top 10 performance theaters in rural America.
Yep.
You guys have so many of these wonderful little assets. So let's talk about the outdoors.
Yeah.
What can people expect and experience in the outdoors of Cumberland County?
The best of Middle and East Tennessee, truthfully. We have a Friends of the Trails in Cumberland County that are very, very devoted to, making these trails as good as possible and as family friendly as possible. So we have, I believe it's over 100 miles of trails. It's over 40 trails in Cumberland County. I don't even believe that's including Cumberland Mountain State Park, which is, our state park in Cumberland County. So we have a lot of trails for all different ages, all different levels, as well as the Cumberland Trail, which is currently, kind of not really headquarters in Cumberland County, but we are going to have the longest stretch of the Cumberland Trail, which is basically like a baby Appalachian Trail. But like our outdoors, I think is one of our greatest assets because, we kind of talked about Upper Cumberland being poor. We have a very impoverished community, and I'm big on like the socioeconomical inclusivity, I guess is the best way to put it. And it's like we have free assets in Cumberland County with those trails. We don't really get hit by tourism tax. Like our local restaurants are still, relatively cheap. Like our activities are still relatively cheap. And it's like that's what makes Cumberland County so beautiful for anybody is the socioeconomic side. Like I would say it's probably one of the cheapest counties where you're going to have plenty to do and like still have like a good budget friendly option, truthfully. Like, I mean, just with outdoors, like we have the golf courses, which are not as budget friendly, but we have some cheaper options there. Like I said, all of the trails, Cumberland Mountain State Park, Ozone Falls is beautiful. If you've never been to Ozone Falls, I cannot recommend it more. I grew up 5 minutes from Ozone. It's like, we just have so much to do outdoors. Like, originally whenever I felt like I was growing up, you could go to Sevierville or Gatlinburg and you could just go rent a cabin on a lake and just relax. Well, now it's kind of harder to do that. Like you can do that in Cumberland County still. And there's kind of a beauty in that is just renting a cabin at Cumberland Mountain State Park and just getting to relax with nobody in,
What's your favorite outdoor activity in Cumberland County?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I love golf. I'm a golfer. We have some of the best golf courses you're ever going to like see in your life, truthfully. But I would say if we're talking excluding golf, it has to be Ozone Falls. I mean, it's such a unique, waterfall, and it's so close to the Highway 70. It's like you can park, you can walk a football field, and you're at 110-foot waterfall.
Yep.
Like it's so unique. And the kind of the history of Ozone, like there's a trail that runs all the way from Black Mountain and Crab Orchard to Ozone. And
have you taken it?
I've not. It's like 7.5 miles or something. Okay. So I've not done it. I do plan on doing it at some point. Just cause I mean, it's beautiful. But like the Jungle Book, the live action was filmed there. It's just like cool stuff like that. Being able to be where a Disney movie was filmed is kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. And like you're literally in the middle of nowhere, but like you're 60, 70 yards from, a major highway, which is just really cool in my opinion.
Let's talk about the golf scene. So Cumberland County is considered the golf capital of Tennessee. Mm-hmm. In one day, when we were with you, I think we went to 5 golf courses in one day?
Probably close.
Yeah, I think it was 5 golf courses in one day. So go ahead and talk about that, and then that's going to lead into the retirement community of Cumberland County.
Yeah, so I mean, our golf courses are awesome. I'm a golfer. I didn't get into golf until I was, really in high school, but we are blessed to have that tourism asset, and to have the people that care for those golf courses as much as they do. So we have 9 golf courses in Cumberland County. 5 of which are in Fairfield Glade, which is, our retirement, unincorporated community, like has private HOAs. All the courses are public. Well, technically semi-private because you can only book a week in advance, but they're public courses. 2 of which are ranked top 5 in the state for courses you can actually play, 3 and 5. Stonehenge is number 3, and I believe the Crag is number 5. Heather's Crag. Outside of Fairfield Glade, we have Bear Trace at Cumberland Mountain, which if you've played Bear Trace at Cumberland Mountain 3 or 4 years ago, it's in 1,000 times better shape. They went through like a little bit of a rough patch for, 3 or 4 years, but it's a good course now. I just played a tournament out there weekend before last. Tansy is like just always a good course to play. They always keep it in great shape. It's fun. It's not too difficult. Then we have Deer Creek, which just recently opened up. So this is the second year, I believe it's been reopened. It's probably the second cheapest out of all the courses in Cumberland County, but it's so fun to play. Like I'll go out and walk probably once, twice a week, just walk 9 with some of my buddies. And it's probably one of my favorite courses to walk just because like some of the holes are just, it's super easy. It's super beautiful. And like, you don't really have to, it's not like a country club. Like anywhere you go in Nashville, like the rules are collar, shorts, sometimes pants, don't take your hat off in the clubhouse, that kind of stuff. Deer Creek is like shorts and a t-shirt, give them $15 cash and go walk 9, right? Mm-hmm. Which is really, really cool. And, it's harder and harder to find that in, the golf world now. And they have awesome management there, and I'm very excited to see what that course turns into, year 3, 4, 5, whenever the, fairways start coming in a little bit better. And the last course is Cumberland Cove, which has been in Crossville for longer than I've been alive. And it's like the locals course. So it's probably the cheapest. And, it's in between Cokeville and Crossville. I mean, if you're from Crossville and you want to golf for the first time, or if you want to golf for the first time, Cumberland Cove is a good course to golf at.
Oh, anything in Cumberland County is a good place to go. So make sure to stay overnight so you can get that motel tax.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, Fairfield Glade is a huge asset. They've got an awesome team over there, and those courses are, like I said, I worked in the golf industry in the state, and we got to go to the nicest courses in the state, and I would rather play some of the Fairfield Glade courses than just about any other course we went to. Outside of maybe a handful, but it would just be more because I want to play them once, and I've played all the Fairfield courses probably 40 times.
So over 30% of your county is retirees.
Yeah.
I believe it was maybe 23 or 2024. Tennessee was the top destination for retirees besides Florida, which Florida is really hard to beat. Yeah. But we're in the top 5 performing retiring states, hands down for the last 5 to 10 years. Why do you think most people are choosing Cumberland County? Do you think it's because of the golf scene? Do you think it's the access to the proximity to Nashville and to Knoxville? I
mean, I think there's a lot of different things. I think one of the things that makes Tennessee attractive for retirees is relatively low housing prices outside of Nashville.
That no income tax.
No income tax is a huge one, right? And the temperature, like having 4 seasons to where they can go and live in their second house in Florida. And what we're seeing is people from California and Illinois and Michigan and all these different places, they're selling their 2-bedroom house for $1.2 million, and moving down here and paying cash for a house on the lake for $450,000.
Yeah.
And Cumberland County has the second lowest effective property taxes in the state. So, I mean, I think it's a combination of all those. I think golf's a big one. Retirees, big golf scene. If you're paying those HOAs, I think the amenities in Fairfield Glade in general. So we have, a tennis and racket club, with a whole lot of pickleball courts, because everybody knows pickleball's great. We have a community center. The actual community of Fairfield Glade there's hundreds of groups out there.
Yeah, it's top notch. When we stayed there, it's top notch. And then there's that ice cream place right next to it too. That was killer.
Custard Cabin. Oh, it's the best. We love Custard Cabin. Owners are great too.
So okay, with the retirees, are you seeing a direct correlation of families coming to visit those retirees, or are the retirees traveling out of the county to go visit their families?
We see a lot of families come in. We see a lot of families that are coming in to see, their parents that are retired there, and then they love it here and they move. Or, their parents get older and they want to be closer to family. We have a good school system. We have a city and county that care. So we're seeing Fairfield Glade's population grow a lot, but I would say probably half of that population is families coming in to be closer to their family. We see all kinds of families that come in. I would say the biggest group that we see coming to Fairfield Glade are the golf packages.
Of course.
right after that would be families.
Okay.
Some of the people that live there.
So let's talk about eateries. When we did our little tour of Cumberland County, you took us to amazing spots. The Grinder House.
Yep.
That vintage store that had the tables and the sandwiches.
Yeah.
Brambleberry. You took us to the winery. You took us to a Mennonite Amish store. We ate really good that trip. Yeah. The Goat Cafe with the sourdough waffles and things. So just walk through a food itinerary for our audience looking to come to Cumberland County.
So let's say you're going to spend a Saturday in Crossville. Food wise, I mean, you have to start out at either Grinder House or Copper Chick. Mm-hmm. Grinder House has great sandwiches. They're a good lunch spot too.
Yeah, their Monte Cristo was awesome.
Yeah, but the Copper Chick sourdough waffles are
those things slapping.
No other in the Upper Cumberland, really. Mm-hmm. I mean, just the vibe of both those places too are just really, really cool. It's very unique because neither one of them are ever can't find a seat busy. And you're not gonna have to wait 45 minutes for food. Mm-hmm. It's one of those two places have got to be your breakfast spot. We have other little local diners that are really good as well. For lunch, I mean, it's either going to be Poorhouse or Forte's. So we went to Forte's.
Forte's is awesome.
Forte's is great, a little local Italian place. Mm-hmm. Mama's Tortellini. Big recommendation from me.
I can't even remember what I had.
It was the artichoke.
The artichoke pasta. Yeah. That white sauce.
And then Poorhouse is great too. We'll probably go there in October. It's a good recommendation as well. They have some of the best sweet potato fries you're gonna have, and they have rotating menus. Poorhouse is the locals' favorite, I would say. And then for dinner, gonna have to go gondolas, which we didn't get to have gondolas. But
I've also heard the bowling alley has some of the best burgers in the state of Tennessee.
The bowling alley has good food.
So I think we were going to have to go to the bowling alley and try a burger.
People hate on the bowling alley, but it has good food. My dad bowls in leagues, and I go out there, just get a good burger. Yeah. Have good, everything they make's good.
Yeah.
It is a traditional, old school, good bowling alley food. But Gondolas has probably the best pizza in Upper Cumberland. That's my hot take of the day. It's thin crust, super, super good. Great owners. They have super good service. I mean, you will be lucky to find that place not packed, but they have 3 separate dining rooms, and which is a lot for Crossville.
Yeah.
And I mean, you never there's never a wait, but it is always packed. They do a great job. Super good salad bar too. Always got to get the salad bar added on.
What was the Amish place that you took us to?
Country Cupboard. Yeah, so the Country Cupboard is I believe it's a Mennonite store.
Okay.
Yeah, so
it's like Country View Market over in Charlotte, Tennessee. So a little bit different. But.
So yeah, which right next to that, there's also a flower shop.
Yeah,
which we kind of walked through. It's owned by the same people, and they do a wonderful job. Sunrise Dairy. If you guys have ever heard of Sunrise Dairy, it's a very, very, very loved name in Upper Cumberland. That's where they source all their stuff from. I mean. Super, super nice.
The sandwich there I had was a pimento cheese sandwich, and then I asked them to put meat on it. They're like, we can't put meat on it, and then they ended up putting ham on it.
Yeah.
So it was like a ham pimento cheese sandwich. So that thing was delicious. The chocolate milk, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
What would you classify as a success for being a tourism director?
Oh man, that's a great question. That's a good question. You kind of stumped me with that one. I mean, I think, it goes back. It's helping the community grow as well as increasing the quality of life for everybody in the community. So right now we have a $775 effective tax savings through tourism a year. So that'd be like me going around to every single household that we have in Cumberland County and writing them a $775 check and being like, here's this off your property taxes. Because if we were to run the same exact way we are right now, and we didn't have this tourism industry, your property taxes would be almost $1,000 more. I think increasing that number is very important to me because there are a lot of impoverished people in Cumberland County. I'm from an area that was mainly impoverished. I have cousins, I was very fortunate with, wonderful parents, that worked super, super hard their entire life and, kind of set that path for me. But we have a lot of people that $775 is make or break for them throughout the year. as bad, as crazy as that is. It's the truth. So I think just like improving, quality of lives and, helping people make it, it would really be the main thing. I just think, one of the most fulfilling things is hearing the testimonies from these different business owners or these different people that have had a direct effect through tourism. But yeah, I would say a success being in this position for a long, long time. I want to take Crossville to places it's never been in a tourism capacity.
I think with Flat Rock and some of the other things that you have coming in, I think you could take that $250 million up to $1 billion.
Yeah.
In direct visitor spending.
Yeah.
I think that's very feasible in the next 5 to 10 years.
So right now we're 15th. And like I said, we have to keep in mind, Crossville and Cumberland County has never had a DMO. We've never had anybody to spearhead a tourism, like just tourism in general, right? We've never promoted to people necessarily outside of just little, this and that, word of mouth stuff. Whenever we do start promoting that, I think the biggest thing we're going to see is of course we're going to see people come in, but I think we're going to see businesses come in. Mm-hmm. Now, I think that's going to be the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's going to allow us to get to that $500 million mark. So, my goal is to get us in the top 10 in the next 10 years. So right now we're at 210. To get in the top 10, we would, I think it's close to that $500 million mark. And we have to outpace everybody else. So that's the difficult part too. Because you have Putnam County that's 183 that are kind of on our heels right now. And we have to outpace them. As much as I love Putnam County and I want them to be super successful, but I still want to be better than them.
I think you have better natural assets.
Yeah.
They have Burgess Falls. They have the Cumberland Falls. And they have those, but you guys have the mountains.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's the great debate, right? Yeah. Is Crossville, Cumberland County, Middle or East Tennessee.
I think it's the dividing line. I truly think it's once you get in the interstate, because isn't it in your county where the time changes? Mm-hmm. Or so that's the dividing line.
Ozone's in Eastern time.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Ozone's in Eastern time.
And just on the other side of the bridge, it's in Central time.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, it really is
you are the dividing line.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I mean, it's probably 80% Central, 20% Eastern, but still, it's we have some cool stuff in Eastern time, like Flat Rock's in Eastern time.
Okay.
Like Ozone's in Eastern time. There's a big part.
How do you balance that as a county of having some of your counties split into Eastern time? So this is a situation that happened to me in Florida. We were staying in Eastern time, but I wanted to go see a movie. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize the town where the movie theater was in Central time. Mm-hmm. So I showed up an hour and 20 minutes early for a movie. And I'm like, what do we do? So how do you balance that, the time shift in the county? I
mean, I think if you're from there, you kind of just
understand it. Yeah.
Well, it's not a lot of people are well, I'm going to be at Ozone specifically at this time. Or, Flat Rock doesn't have a lot of public facing stuff. It's most of the time, if you're going to Knoxville, you kind of just know.
Okay.
If you're going to travel east, it's going to be to Knoxville, maybe Kingston.
They have that hour change.
Yeah. That's where anything else is okay, it's, Central time. And most of the people that we work with are from it's just, you kind of just have to be clear. It just makes you think about, am I putting EST or CST on, email?
Your calendar.
And so knowing where everybody's from too, it's really not that much. I guess it's probably just from where I grew up.
It's just more of a.
It's an innate.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just you kind of you just naturally think about it.
Is Flat Rock planning on having concerts? Because they're building an amphitheater.
That is part of their master plan.
Okay.
Two of the coolest things of their master plan is 15,000 person amphitheater, or that number's kind of changed. It's been 7, 17, 25, 15. But right now I think it's 15,000, and then a golf course on site for, it's going to be a private golf course for those members, which is going to be awesome.
That's going to be killer.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that's their plan, and it's going to give the Upper Cumberland a resource that we've never had before. There's nowhere in the we don't have a concert venue outside of Old Gray in Monterey, which I don't know if it's open anymore. We've not really had something like that. It's, I mean, you see people at the caverns all the time.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, I would imagine that Flat Rock's going to be close, if not bigger than that. Like, as far as like,
that'd be huge. Yeah. If they're in Eastern time, I'm just thinking through a marketing aspect of like, you have to tell that message. Oh, if the concert starts at 7, it's not technically Central time.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, on all the graphics and stuff, it'll be, like
Eastern time,
6 Central, 7 Eastern.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
just that balance. What have you learned from the tourism director and your relationship with the state?
I think the state's awesome. I think they're wonderful, especially the tourism department. They've been big proponents in trying to get Cumberland County money, and they've been trying to push for a tourism director for a long time. I mean, nobody's perfect, but I mean, I think there's a reason why Tennessee is one of the fastest. I think we're the fastest growing state in tourism that does not have a casino.
Yeah, I think we're closing in the top 10.
Yeah,
I can't remember the numbers. We'll learn that at governor's conference.
Yeah,
but which is crazy that we don't have the casino and we have that capacity.
Yeah,
but we also have.
If Nashville had casinos, man, it'd be crazy.
It would be an interesting experience. That's what it would be.
Yeah, we'd be the Vegas of the East.
Oh yeah,
we'd be crazier than Vegas, honestly.
I think we would.
Yeah,
especially with some of the projects that we're working on right now.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know if we need a casino here.
Yeah.
But okay, so what have you learned working with the state?
I've learned that there are a lot of resources out there that a lot of people are not taking advantage of. I think I'm a big proponent of the fact that you can make anything successful. There are resources out there for even like local businesses, across the state. We have the TSBDC, so the Tennessee Small Business Development Centers.
There's SCORE, there's the Entrepreneur Center in Nashville. Yeah.
You have in Upper Cumberland, we have the SBDC, which has an intern team that works with small businesses that I was on for 2.5 years. We have the Upper Cumberland Development District that does all kinds of stuff for city, county, and businesses. And it's like there are a lot of resources out there, from the state. Like, as long as you are communicating with them, as long as you are like staying in touch and making sure, because like they'll send you an email and say, hey, this is available. And like, I think that like I cannot thank the state enough for the ARPA money and putting that into tourism, because I would not be in this position if that wasn't the case, because they didn't want to have a tourism director. But then this money came along and they could hire one. So I think Tennessee's doing the right thing, especially in a tourism space, because you're seeing a lot of other places that are not. I'm not going to call any names, but like, STS Marketing College, it's like everybody was like, oh, my state's doing this. My state's doing this. It was all negative. And everybody from Tennessee was like, I mean, we're doing pretty good over here. Like, there are a lot of resources. You have like GovCon, Blizzard, like just staying in constant communication with the state has been huge, which fortunately our like regional director is my first cousin through marriage. So I see her at family events and we can talk about it and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's been great, because like, even, Commissioner Zell, like on the tourism side, like has been very willing to speak at, anything that we needed him to speak at, which hasn't came up yet, but we've had that conversation with him. So it's been good.
Where would be your dream destination to promote Cumberland County?
Are you saying like where would we place ads?
Yeah, like ads or like physical placements to like for the golf tournaments, or like where like you're just like, I would love to see more visitors from this particular region to come into Cumberland County.
I'm gonna say Myrtle Beach, because here's my thought process. They're like the golf capital of the United States, right? So you're talking about a market that is like literally perfect for us. So if we could get a quarter or less, because like they're going there to play beach golf. You can come to Cumberland County and play like mountain golf, and like we are one of the I truly believe that as we continue to promote this, we'll be one of the top golf destinations in the Southeast.
I think so,
if we're not already in some rise. Like I think targeting that Myrtle Beach market, targeting these Branson, Missouri is another one. So like Tiger Woods has all his courses out there. And I mean, Nashville, right? Nashville's a huge one.
And it's only an hour and 40 minutes away.
Right? Yeah. It's an hour 40 minutes for me like with a little bit of traffic to get here.
Yeah.
I was like, that is not bad at all.
No.
Like you can make a trip out to go have dinner and watch a play.
And still be back by 11.
Yeah. Or sooner, depending on when the play starts. So.
Yeah. From a personal standpoint to a tourism standpoint, what's the biggest thing you've learned?
So, growing up, I always took advantage of as many amenities as possible, but really taking a step back, even like that first month, and really looking at, oh my gosh, there's all this stuff to do in Cumberland County, and nobody here knows about it. Like, I mean, it was super eye-opening, because I was like, I was talking to, a family member, or my wife, or, my mom, or my dad, or whoever, and I was like, hey, did you know that Grassy Cove's like the largest sinkhole in North America?
Talk about, yeah.
It's like, or did you know that we have a yak ranch in Cumberland County? And it's like, no, I didn't know that. And it's like, how many things we have to do that we just don't know about? Like our own people don't know about. And if our own people don't know about it, nobody else knows about it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, how much could just letting our community know about stuff affect those business owners? I mean, that was really the biggest thing, is like, we have so much to do. And I barely even scratched the surface of what I knew whenever I lived here. And I was involved in all this stuff.
Let's talk about Grassy Cove. You took us to Grassy Cove. It reminds me of Cades Cove. A lot less quieter because there's not as many vehicles there. Mm-hmm. Beautiful mountain ranges surrounding it. Great Civil War history. Like, would you... I guess is the question is like, how are you going to market that, but then also protect it?
Yeah, so Grassy Cove's a difficult one, right? So it's on 68. So people drive through it all the time, and people are like, "Oh man, this is beautiful," and they have no idea where they're at.
Yeah.
Because when you kind of just come out to like this beautiful like pasture with mountains all around it.
Yeah, it's a 12-mile sinkhole, right?
Yeah. So like you'd never think that. You'd never think it's America's largest sinkhole, and because nobody's ever really like promoted it that way before.
Well, I'm about to.
A couple of magazines, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it should be promoted that way because it is. But I mean, I think just like, cause like there's not like an attraction in Grassy Cove. I think it's going to be pairing that with something else. It's like we're about to get a Civil War trail sign down there. So it's going to be like, hey, go see the Civil War trail sign in Grassy Cove, learn about Grassy Cove a little bit, then come to our downtown, learn about
a restaurant right there off of Highway 68 would be perfect. Just a little small thing. Like a vintage diner would be really cool. But
really the biggest difficult thing about Grassy Cove is you have, 4 or 5 families that own
all of it,
almost all of it.
Yeah. And
they're not people that are necessarily like, that love them. I knew a lot of them because like a lot of times they were either zoned for Homestead or Crab Orchard. And I grew up at, both those schools. Like they're not going to just want to sell that land. Like that land is so valuable. And I mean, there's so much history there.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to, kind of tap into the history side of things and really start promoting, what actually happened in Grassy Cove and how it came to be. And that was one of the first, it has the oldest church in Cumberland County. It's like old.
Like 1700s, right? Like 1796 or like 1804?
Yeah, it was 1795 or 1804, I think is what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of them. I know we saw it, but
it was really, really cool.
It's just like in my experience of Cumberland County, you showed us things I had no idea existed there, and so like,
Mountain.
Oh yeah, Renegade. That place is like I want to go buy it. I wish I had the money to go buy Renegade Mountain and turn it into a destination. But like standing on top of Black Rock, watching the sunset, looking at Grassy Cove, and then going freaking berserk seeing Starlink for the first time in my life. Like it's just a good memory.
Yeah.
And so like that was just all within like a less than a 24-hour period.
Yeah.
And then the food, and so like Cumberland County is truly one of like the best hidden gems in Tennessee. I'm excited for what you're going to do with promoting the county. Outside of Cumberland County, where's your favorite place in Tennessee?
In Tennessee?
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh. I mean, I love Knoxville. Like, if I were to live anywhere else, it would be Knoxville. Whether that's Maryville or Knoxville, like kind of that area.
Both are great.
I love the mountains.
Yeah.
Like I go to church in Maryville. Douglas Lake is a kind of a low key shout out from like a little bit north of Sevierville. I had a trip out there a couple weeks ago, and I mean, it was so peaceful. Like, it felt like it was Gatlinburg like whenever I was 10.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I have to say Knoxville. It's like, I grew up 45 minutes from Turkey Creek, so that's where we always went shopping, and that's where we would go, to Edwin Watson, buy golf clubs, and yeah, I love the Knoxville area. I love the mountains. I think that's where probably my wife would want to move as well. So,
what is one thing the state of Tennessee is missing besides beaches, not lake beaches? Like, what's one thing?
Slot machines. No, I'm joking. Not slot machines. Yeah, I would love if we had beaches, but of course that's a little unrealistic. I think Dollywood's great. I love Dollywood.
Dollywood's fantastic.
I think if we did have another, not necessarily Dollywood-esque, but I think if we had like a Six Flags or like a theme park junkie place to go, I think that would be really cool. And which comes from the golf world, this is kind of just my thing. We need more golf courses, and people don't really understand that because all the courses in Nashville are private. Like, besides
Hermitage Golf Course, but they're booked out for basically the next year.
Hermitage, Harpeth Hills, like you have the local munis, Legacy up like North
Two Rivers Golf Course, right across the street from our recording podcast.
With how fast golf's growing, it's like we need more golf courses, especially in the Nashville area. That's why I'm wanting people to come to Crossville to see how awesome this golf course are, because it's worth the drive. I promise you it's worth the drive. And you can get tee times there still.
Yeah. Right now. Until videos come out, yeah.
I think that and the outdoor, just in general, just more outdoor recreation, promotion of that stuff. I'm a big proponent of like the mental health positives that you can get from being outdoors, whether that's golfing, whether that's hiking a trail, whatever that is. I think if Tennessee could really just pinpoint that, which I think they're doing a good job of that. I think there's a lot of communities that are doing a good job of that. But we need to have as many trails as possible.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We need to. One thing that I think we're missing a Virginia creeper.
Yeah.
If we could have something very close to the Virginia creeper, like I was in talks with Rails to Trails like within a month, because we have a rail bed that runs straight through Cumberland County. I was like, man, this would be awesome. This would be perfect. Unfortunately, the land is just going to be too difficult to kind of navigate around. But I think if we had something like that from a tourism aspect, there's no telling how much a Virginia creeper does, like sales tax and all that stuff. But if we had something like that, I think it would be huge.
Yeah.
What do you think? I'm interested to hear your opinion on this.
What Tennessee's missing?
Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff here.
Yeah. I'm just thinking through my life in the last year. I've flown planes. I've been in caves. I've been on top of
a volcano, maybe.
We may have one.
It's a tough question. It really is.
I think what Tennessee is missing is a true appreciation for the history.
Yeah.
I think there's been the Civil War trail, and I think there's been a few different assets from the state and from other organizations that are doing the preservation and preserving. But when I think of Tennessee and we're like, oh, we have a church that's 200 years old. That's cool.
Yeah.
But we can never compare ourselves to Rome and to these major cities, but we can do better from a preservation side of things. I can't remember. I don't know if it was with you guys or another county we were with. But I saw on the side of the buildings, they told you the history. That's you guys.
We have that.
Yeah. So you guys, I think you're doing a great job with that.
Yeah.
I wish that was across the state.
We're talking about ramping that up now more.
And so and imagine a QR code of an animated character, telling the story. Yeah. I know of those buildings, it's going to be that's expensive and I'm in that creative process, but I wish there was more of that instead of just a Civil War sign saying this is what happened, but make it more an interactive living history. So even if you, and just since we're talking about Cumberland County, you guys have a beautiful theater in downtown.
Yes.
A beautiful theater. But there's opportunities to tell the history of Cumberland County through documentaries, through touch and through smell.
Yep.
Of if there was a battle in the county, if there was this important legacy person. And so, like, I think that's just missing more throughout the state.
So one of my favorite places to travel in the United States is Philadelphia. I think they do a wonderful
and
job.
Boston does an amazing job.
Yeah. And it's like, I wish we had more touch points like that and more like promotion of that, because I'm a history nerd. Like, I grew up watching the History Channel. I did not grow up watching Nickelodeon. Like, my grandpa was in Vietnam, so we spent a lot of time on the History Channel learning about that stuff. And, I think that just the history of like a place like Cumberland County that nobody would ever know. It's like the Palace Theater almost got tore down in 1996. And unless it was literally for people like fighting tooth and nail to keep it open, we would not have a theater. Mm-hmm. It's like the stories like that are just awesome.
Well, let's talk about the theater. They just celebrated, was it 60th anniversary?
That's Playhouse.
Oh, Playhouse.
Playhouse 60th anniversary this year.
Oh, the theater downtown. Yeah. But which is a beautiful theater. But let's talk about Playhouse.
Yep.
That's another asset that your county has. Mm-hmm. So what is the Cumberland County Playhouse?
Cumberland County Playhouse is this rural, imagine like the Broadway of the South is the best way for me to put it.
Yeah, I can see that. With the barn doors and...
Yeah. I mean, they run the best plays in the Southeast. They send people to Broadway. People from Broadway come to, Cumberland County Playhouse. Like, this is a sought after theater. If you know anything about theater, you know about the Cumberland County Playhouse. I mean, it's like world renowned. We have people from Europe, Ireland, like specific, I don't know, that we have a lot of people come in from Ireland to come to the Playhouse. We have people from Australia that'll come in. Like, we have people from all over the place that want to come to the Cumberland County Playhouse. We show some of the best shows. We were the second theater to get 9 to 5. Dolly Parton's. We're going to be the only theater, one of 2 theaters before it goes to Broadway. They run, I would say probably close to 20 shows a year, and they are like top tier. They do everything right there. They offer after school programs, summer programs. They offer, like, we got to go take like a full tour of the Playhouse about a month ago. I mean, the magnitude that they run stuff at is incredible. I mean, if you have a chance to go to if you ever get the chance to go to Cumberland County, and I hope most of you all do, the Playhouse, even if you're not into plays, is something you need to at least go see and experience. Because, I mean, it is the top tier of theaters you're going to go to.
Tell me your perfect Saturday itinerary for Cumberland County.
Oh, perfect Saturday itinerary. So,
or we can do a Saturday, Sunday itinerary.
Yeah, let's do a Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
So on Saturday morning, I'm going to wake up at like, 7:30, go get 18 in at Dorchester. It's my favorite place in Cumberland County.
The most beautiful golf course I think I've ever been to in my entire life.
Yeah, we got to go out there and film some. I mean, it's like there's no houses on the back nine.
You're in this mountain.
It's 13, 14, 15 are one of the most beautiful 3-hole stretches you're going to play if you're a golfer. Wake up, get done around noon. I'm going to give another shout to a different restaurant, Red's Ale House. So it's like a sports bar-esque in Fairfield Glade. And best wing flavor, it's a hot garlic teriyaki. It is to die for. And then I would say probably go to Cumberland Mountain State Park, explore there a little bit. Whether that's kayaking, fishing, going on a trail, looking over some of the historical stuff. Go have dinner at Gondolas. I'm going to give them a shout again. And then this is kind of an underrated one, and this is less of I want to go do this. This is more of we have some of the best sports facilities in the state, and we have some of the best softball tournaments you're ever going to see, like ran. We have an awesome leisure service department. They do a great job. But I would say either go play in a tournament or go to the Palace Theater, watch a movie or a comedy. Henry Cho comes there every year in January, sold out every single time. He does an awesome job. The Palace Theater is like so unique. Like, it's 300 seats, and it's like a legitimate old theater. And it
reminds me of the theater I grew up with.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. And on Sunday, wake up, go to, I'm going to say one of the local diners. So we have like Callie's Kitchen, AJ's Diner. It's like, it feels like you're in like a 50s, 60s diner, where it's like bacon, egg, sausage, like kind of like your own plate. And then for me, I'd probably play golf again, truthfully. But I would say for everybody else, I'd probably take a trip down to Ozone. Like I said, I think that's Ozone and Black Mountain. I think those are two, pretty much must-see destinations in Crossville. Stop by the shooting sports park too.
Oh, that place is
after
awesome.
lunch.
Yeah.
If you are even semi-interested in shooting at all, place is sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. We have a great relationship with them. Where do we want lunch at? I'm going to say Brambleberry. Quick, easy, good sandwich shop, like super unique feel on the inside. And then you got to stop at Buc-ee's, of course. I'm going to say round it out with probably a play. Just because the Playhouse is like, I take my wife there all the time. Like it's so cool.
Sounds like a great weekend.
Yeah. We have so much more to do than that right there, though. Like, we have drag strip. We have a dirt track. Take a stop by Flat Rock just to see the gates.
Yeah, just to see the gates. Yeah. So you have racing, you have golfing, you have shooting, you have theater, you have outdoors. It sounds like a perfect destination to go take a trip.
It's pretty nice. And like I said, it's, relatively inexpensive for pretty much everything you do.
Yeah.
Hasn't really been hit by the tourism tax. And you don't really find traffic in Crossville unless it's the 127 yard sale, which is this weekend. First weekend in August, unless you're into yard selling, Crossville is kind of a nightmare at the 127 yard sale because it runs directly through it and all the way through one of our main roads.
Okay.
So it's takes a lot to get across town. Let's just say that.
What do you guys do like a Christmas celebration at all?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have a Christmas parade that goes through downtown, which the last couple of years it's not actually got to go through downtown because we've been working on sidewalks on both sides of the road. But I think it's either going to be this year or next year is whenever we're going to start like that parade actually through downtown. So it's local businesses, local nonprofits, anybody that wants to have, a float in the parade. They start, just go straight through downtown, down 127. It's one of the coolest events in Cumberland County because you have thousands of people on the side of the road there. You have, hot chocolate set up. It's a very community focused event, and the community really gets behind it. We have a lighting of the trees. We decorate our downtown every year, and that's something we're slowly ramping up more and more as this Main Street program gets off the ground. Christmas is always a good time in Crossville. Always is.
Well, PJ, we appreciate you coming out from Crossville today to record this episode. Where can people learn more about what to do in Crossville?
So explorecrossville.com is probably going to be your best bet. We're currently redoing our website, but it should be up by the time that you all see this, and then all of our socials. So it's Explore Crossville on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, which we'll have some Explore Nashville content coming out with collaboration, so you can find us there as well. And just come see us. Come down to the chamber. Come down to, one of our visitor centers and come say hi.
All right. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you in the next one.